What up, my guys? Over to another show. Wednesday, NBA Talk with Jay, man. Finna go over a couple games. Got Hawks versus Bulls. Got Heat versus Sixers as well, man. Obviously, coming off a tough game yesterday, really hard to see the Warriors right off into the sunset like that. Clay had an absolute horrible game. Steph only 5 points at the half, man. But it is what it is. Can't win every single game. Will not hit 100%, but still a little surprised that they got blown out like that. But whatever. It's a new day. Finna go over these two games and finna get out of here, my guys. I'm not here to waste your time. Go download the Action Network app. There's a lot of guys over there posting picks as far as like props, totals, things that I don't do. You see what I'm saying? So there's other plays that you can get. So a lot of people that's doing picks, man. Like you can find on here on YouTube, but go download Action Network app. It's all free. They got a lot of props, totals, sides, whatever you like to bet over there, my guys. First game up. Let's go over to the streets of Chicago in this one. Bulls land 3 points at the house versus the Atlanta Hawks in this game. And I could have gotten it wrong where the Warriors were probably tired of playing with each other, and maybe the Hawks. Obviously, as long as they got DeJounte Murray, they have a chance. I feel like when Trae Young came back, he really messed things up. If Trae Young wasn't in this game, I'd be all over the Hawks in this game, man. But really don't like the vibes from the Hawks coming into this game. They've lost 6 straight games. It has been versus tough competition, but they hadn't been covering the spread as well, even before Trae Young came back. This team is 2-7 against the spread in their last 9 games. So even versus those great teams that they were getting double digits, getting 11.5, getting 11 points, getting 12.5, they still hadn't been covering the spread, and they lost outright to the Hornets as well. So I would have liked to see for them to have at least a little bit more fight. They did have some fight in their second to last game versus the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I know they didn't have anything to play for versus the Pacers, but still, you got to show at least a little bit more fight, especially when you're playing DeJounte Murray and Trae Young versus the backups of the Pacers, and they went out there and literally just did whatever they wanted to, man. So in my opinion, the vibes are really low in Atlanta right now. I'd be surprised if they won this game. Now, they've had success in the play-in tournament. Last year, they won. I believe they beat the Heat last year in the first game. I believe so. But and the year before that, I believe as well. Like the Hawks, if I'm not mistaken, they're 3-0 in their play-in games. You see what I'm saying? Or 2-0 at least in their play-in games. But this is a little bit different situation this year, in my opinion. Here, obviously now Desumno is questionable here, and I'm not gonna lie. So Andre Drummond had an injury, and he was in a walking boot, but he wasn't in a walking boot in their last game versus the Knicks. That was 3 days ago. So maybe he could possibly play here, but if he did play, he probably wouldn't be 100%. But Drummond actually means a lot to the Bulls. He's one of their best, because I think that he should probably be the starting center. I know that Vucevic has a lot more upside offensively, but Drummond really changed the things for them rebounding. Like when he's out there, nobody else is getting rebounds. It's really hard to score inside the paint as well. If Drummond doesn't play, they will miss him coming off the bench in this game. I can't tell you that. And they don't really have a backup center that they trust as well. Probably would have to run Torrey Craig maybe at the backup center. I'd be surprised. I'd be interested to see who they would run as their backup center. They'd probably run like small ball with Torrey Craig at their backup center, man. But I'm not lying, they would miss Drummond here. But I just feel like the Bulls play for each other a little bit more. Obviously, Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, they could go crazy in this game. Like anything could happen in this particular game. But if I'm betting this, if I lean towards the Bulls -3 in this game, wouldn't be surprised whichever happened, to be perfectly honest with you. But the over has seen some steam as well. This line opened up at 219.5, 220, and it's got steamed up 3 points. So maybe that's what I'm saying. Like with the Hawks, they have a lot of more upside offensively, but their defense has really been lacking out there, especially with no Jalen Johnson, no Okongwu, no Sadiq Bey as well, man. So I'd lean to the Bulls, and I'd lean to the over in this game. If you were looking at some props, I'm not really sure, to be honest with you, man. Go check out my guys over there at Action Network. I'm pretty sure that they have some props. It's just not my forte. You see what I'm saying? That's not my best. That's not my strong suit, is looking towards the props here. But the DeRozan and his daughter, they're going to have to be huge in this game if the Bulls want to have a chance to win. Now, they do have Kobe White as well. He's going to have to get cooking in this game. Like that duo, Kobe White and DeRozan, is going to have to match what Trae Young and DeJounte Murray do. You see what I'm saying? But they do have a lot more more like interchangeable players. They got Javonte Green, Ayo Desumno if he plays, which I don't see why. I mean, this is the season's on the line here. I don't see why you wouldn't play in this game. But they're gonna need Vucevic. They're gonna need Alex Caruso knocking down some threes, being that 3-and-D type of guy. They're gonna need Torrey Craig coming off the bench, bringing that energy as well. So I'd lean to the Bulls in this one, and I would lean towards the over as well with this team, my guys. Let's go over to the streets of Philadelphia in this one. The cheesesteaks. Sixers laying 5 points at the house. It's starting to go up to 5.5 at a few places right now. It's actually like right now, just getting some movement right now. Sixers laying 5. Joel Embiid is questionable. I mean, I'd be very surprised if he didn't play in this game. So if you do like the Sixers, it's probably best to go ahead and take it before he is actually ruled in. Obviously, this is an injury-driven market, so it will be going up to 5.5 at the very least, maybe even 6 once Joel Embiid is actually ruled in here. You see what I'm saying? So I believe that the only person that's really going to be out for the Sixers is DeAnthony Milton in this one. So I know that Joel Embiid's questionable here, but it's kind of like the LeBron and AD questionable, where he's like, his probable is questionable. I don't see why he wouldn't play in this game, but he did have a little injury, he did kind of re-aggravate that injury in the last game, but he ended up coming back. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't the last game, because their last game he ended up sitting that one out, but it was the one that was before that. He re-aggravated the injury, and they said that he probably could have played in this last game, but they kind of just decided to rest him up versus the Nets. I mean, he's not playing, you know what I'm saying, versus the Nets. But Sixers come in here with really good vibes, man. I mean, this is low-key the hottest team in the NBA coming into this game. They've won 8 straight games. They're, I believe, 5-0 since having Joel Embiid back as well. They've covered 10 straight against the spread. Like they've literally went 10-0 against the spread in their last 10 games. I'm not betting against them. Now the Heat, they can match up well with the Sixers. Well, other than Bam Adebayo, obviously he's just too small to go up against Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid, as long as he plays, he should absolutely feast in this game, man. It's just a bad matchup. Bam Adebayo is like 6'9" like 6'9" with shoes on. You see what I'm saying? And I mean their backup center, they don't even really play Thomas Bryant, so maybe Kevin Love. It's a really bad matchup for the Sixers, for the Heat in this game. They're probably going to have to try and double Joel Embiid. He's going to be able to have to make those passes out of the double team. So Joel Embiid over his assists can be good, but I feel like he goes over his points as well. We know how he draws fouls. It depends on how the refs are calling the game, but I feel like the Sixers have too much for them. They're playing their best basketball of the season. I mean, we know if with a healthy Joel Embiid, Sixers could possibly be the second best team in the Eastern Conference. So, and the Heat, for whatever reason, they just like to make it hard on themselves. It's what they did last year as well, man. They lost their first play-in game, and then they won the second one, but they still went out. Like, they just like taking the hard route, man. And then they, as the AC, went all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, man. So sometimes it's just what the Heat could do. But in Philly in this game, the Heat won the first couple matchups this season. Then the Sixers won the last 2 ever since they made their trades. This is a really deep team. Kelly Oubre, you got Kyle Lowry as well over there. We know that he wants to beat the Heat in this game as well. Wouldn't even be surprised if Kyle Lowry over his PRA was a really good look in this game. But guys like Kelly Oubre, they got Buddy Hield coming off the bench. Like, this is a really interchangeable team. They really did a good job at bolstering their depth in the lineup whenever Joel Embiid went down. That's how they were able to stay afloat and even make it to this play-in tournament here. So I lean to the Sixers here, -5. They're in really good form right now. Let me see what the total's doing. Yeah, the total's basically the same. It's around 208. I'd lean to the over though in this game, even though these are 2 like really great defensive teams. I feel like offense is gonna have to win you this game, and I do feel like the Sixers have the more potent, more well-rounded offense in this one. We know guys like Jimmy Butler, like they rely on the foul calls. You know what I'm saying? So if they're not calling that shit where like Jimmy's baiting those fouls, it's gonna be a tough night for him. Bam has been playing well, but like I said, it's a tough matchup going up against Embiid in this one. They're without Terry Rozier as well, so they're going to need Duncan Robinson. They're going to need Tyler Hero, guys like that, to go absolutely bonkers. They're going to need Jaime Jaquez Jr. To bring some things to this game, especially with no Rozier. But even if Rozier is in this one, I'd still be leaning towards the Sixers in this game, man. So Sixers are nothing for me in this one. I heavily lean towards Sixers, land the 5 points. I'd be really surprised if they lost this game outright, my guys. So 2 top leans for me today. I'd lean towards the Chicago Bulls, and I lean to the Philadelphia 76ers. Two dogs covered yesterday. Wouldn't be a bit surprised if both favorites covered in this one. I think the matchup sets up well for them as well, my guys. But that's the show. Go download the Action Network app, man. It's a ton of like, I don't really do props and totals, but they have a lot of guys that do props, totals over there. Some really great cappers over there. It's all free as well to follow their picks as well, my guys. So if you guys can, if you like the show, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Whatever you guys are betting today, I wish you the best of luck. I hope you guys smack the bookies up. I will be back on Friday. I don't believe there's any games tomorrow, so I will be back on Friday breaking down the weekend games as well, my guys. It's all love. Hope y'all get some cash, and I'm out.